multiple point solutions that are required to support this process today. And in fact, most of those solutions are purchased through different vendors that have their different data models, their different user interfaces, and for the most part, it's left security and IT teams on their own to bring that data together and then to provide a human level of analytics on top of that to make decisions based on the risk tolerance or risk posture within an organization, the most sort of critical, or at least the best understanding people have about the criticality of assets along the way. And of course, what you just described makes a ton of sense to do together. So this picture just sort of lays out kind of the transformation between taking these separate processes, bringing them together into a more integrated approach platform, applying a common layer of analytics engine and data model to the problem set that it's here. But I have to ask, because if it were this easy, like why hasn't this happened to date? There's a heavy lift that's here for a lot of reasons, and it's not just the tech part of the problem. There are other challenges. One, and I'll just throw it out there because I'm certain it's on our listeners' minds. We have different objectives oftentimes when we're running an IT infrastructure. We're focused on availability and performance and growth and sort of all the objectives that align with IT, versus the security team is focused on risk mitigation and risk management, and those don't always align. So now we're trying to pull together potentially misaligned sets of objectives into a common process, a common technology and solution. How do we get past those challenges?
Yeah, so there's a number of things. So prior to answering that question, so if you look at prevention, it's not something that you would know. What you're trying to do with investing in prevention is that you're trying to reduce the attack surface. So the result of that is that less number of attacks. So you don't actually see the result, to quantify it, and people tend to ignore the value of investing in prevention. So that is one problem I see, and most of the people end up thinking detection and response is good enough, and we are catching most of the attacks, but that is not necessarily true, because we are seeing increasing number of attacks that are taking place. And each of these, the other thing is certainly the IT tools ecosystem. I mean, there are opportunities to create good category of different products. And so you have these products operating in silos. So as you rightly mentioned, so buying product from different vendors and they don't necessarily talk to each other. So there's no responsibility owned by a single vendor. So if I were to consider prevention as my need, that is one single need. So I'm not really necessarily looking at just getting visibility for the sake of it, right? So I'm ultimately looking at preventing the attacks. I'm not necessarily looking at I just want to know about the vulnerability, the real reason for understanding or knowing about the vulnerability is that I want to act upon those vulnerabilities. So which means that vulnerability management has to feed into the mitigation engine. So I think nobody took the responsibility, in my view, and vendors kept creating products in silos, and the organizations kind of adopted to that norm and ended up creating multiple teams that not necessarily talk to each other. So that is where I believe the problem sort of originates. So each of these teams are operating in silos, and products are also operating in silo. And most of the risk assessment side, the job or the role of that person is to necessarily find the problem, and it ends there.